Got to share something interesting with you guys. Working on a project, and I was approached by a local businessman. I kind of told him a little bit, not in depth, but just kind of a overview about what I was working on. And he was real intrigued with it. So he approached me and said, you know what? I want to help you with that. I want to be a resource for you. He's a very successful businessman, been in business, I think close to 40 years. Has some pretty big national contracts and knows how to run a business. And one of his biggest things is he wants to reach back and help other people. So he told me, hey man, use me as a resource. Whatever you need, I got you covered. So of course I was very appreciative of the fact that he was very helpful, and reached out to him, met him at his office, spoke with him a little bit. He had his secretary in the meeting with us as well. Of course, she's a very good, I'll rephrase that, administrative assistant. She's a very good administrative assistant in that she's very protective of her employer, as she should be. I mean, I'm sure he gets bombarded day in and day out with people who are trying to vie for his time and vie for his money, his experience, and things like that. But what she didn't realize was that he approached me, and there was nothing that I did to try to solicit his help, solicit his money, or anything like that. So as I was following up with the conversations that me and him had, a couple times during the conversation, she was not in the office with us. So he told me some things that she wasn't privy to. So when I went to follow up with her via email, and of course I was very respectful, so every email that I sent him, I CC'd her on it as well, so they were both in the loop of what was going on. And then she took the very protective route again of, well, we need you to get me this, we need that. And I had to explain to her, look, your employer did not ask me for all of that. I'll be more than happy to provide him with that if he asks. But basically, unless I hear it from him directly, that's not the route we're going to take. So things kind of went dormant for, a week and a half or so. And the moral of the story is you got to keep pushing. Because what I did was I decided, you know what? There are other routes that I can go, and I really appreciate the help that he's offering to me. But this idea that I have has got to be taken into fruition. And regardless if he's the person or if she's going to be the gatekeeper, I'm going to keep moving. So what I decided to do was, rather than sitting dormant, was to continue to work on my idea. It's just something that I've been tinkering with in my garage. And in the past, I'll be honest, I probably would have taken the rejection a little tougher and said, you know what, here was an opportunity for something to happen. It didn't happen. It wasn't really smooth. So I'm just going to kind of pacify the idea for a little while, work on it whenever I feel like working on it, and get around to it when I get around to it. And usually the case happens where you never get around to it, right? So I said, you know what? Not this time. This is something huge. I've had other ideas that, I did not act on, and then I saw them in the marketplace. So I said, you know what? This one's going to be different. I'm not going to take no for an answer. And if he's not going to help me, then I'm going to help myself. Now, what I meant by that was I continued to work on the idea. I came up with a plan B to say, you know what? There's another route that I can take, and I'll explore that route, and I'll be more than happy to explore that route if plan A doesn't work. So I'm working on a project for, maybe 4 or 5 days. I'm running back and forth to the store, getting the stuff that I need. I'm tinkering with it in the evenings before going to bed. Don't want to work too late, keeping my wife up with all the noise in the garage. But here's the interesting part. And for those of you who know me, you understand 3 words that I live by, which is activity breeds activity. Now, I had completely just chalked that up as it's not going to happen. If I met him at another event, or we circled back around, or we got in touch with each other, then yeah, I would talk about it. But I was proceeding to move forward with my idea. And so what happened, he is on one of my newsletters that I send out. And he responded back to the newsletter and said, please give me a call. All right. Now I have his cell phone number, so I gave him a shout. And we talked, and he said, look, I want to apologize for the misunderstanding. My administrative assistant is very protective of me. Sometimes a little bit too protective. She tends to step out of her bounds without my authority and without my direction. So I want to assure you that I personally am going to do everything that I said I was going to do. And I want you to deal directly with me. Don't worry about CCing her on the emails. Don't worry about calling her directly to get to me. You've got my cell phone number. You call me and I will help you just like I said I would help you. And the point from him was, we need to help pull each other up. When people get successful in business, it's their duty to pull other people up. All right. And what he was mentioning is that, first of all, there's not enough people at the top. Okay. And those that get to the top don't look to reach back and find those that need help and pulling them up. Too many of us are trying to work our way up the ladder when there are people at the top that just need to give us a hand. So he says, I'm gonna be that guy for you, and I want to be that guy for you because that's the way I like to operate. So the moral of the story is, first and foremost, follow your dreams and work hard to make those dreams come true. Push and push and push. Don't take no for an answer. Don't give up. Continue to go with plan B and plan C and plan D. If the first opportunity that presented itself did not work exactly the way you want it to work, that's the way life works. That's the way business works. It's not going to work the way you want it to work all the time. And unless you have that push and desire, even behind the scenes. Now, he didn't see anything that I was doing. He didn't know that I was continuing to work on the project. He didn't know that I had shifted gears. He didn't know that I was planning to take another route. But he did what he said he was going to do, and he reached out to me. And my thought behind it was, I was very appreciative of the fact that he basically said, I'm a man of my word, and what went down, I'm not excited about it. I want to apologize to you for it, and let's get back on track to making sure we can help work together to make your dream come true. So very appreciative of him. This is just something that I wanted to record because it was a very exciting morning. Really made my day and really gave me some extra incentive to keep pushing, because as you keep pushing, things begin to fall in line with what you are trying to do. So just a little word for the day. You know, if this does something for you, that's great. But really, this was me talking to myself and just putting it on video because it was such a monumental occasion for me that I didn't want to forget it. So keep pushing, and I will keep chronicling what's going on with this process, because it is something that I am not going to let fall through the cracks. I'm not going to let slip through my fingers. I'm not going to let somebody else capitalize on the idea that I've created, because it hit me, and it hit me for a reason. So I'm going to maximize on that reason and see this thing to the end. With that, I'll talk to you later.